Hello and a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I want to show you the 10 cheapest cities in Italy where you can buy real estate. Now, in all of these cities, property on average costs less than €1,000 per square meter. Now, in order to make it into the top 10, all of these cities had to have a population of at least 50,000. Of course, none of the major cities like Rome, Milan, Naples, Florence, and Turin made it into the top 10. However, I still feel that all of these cities that I'm going to mention have something to offer. And please let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and if you would consider buying in any of these 10 cities. Anyway, let's get straight down to it. So, coming in at number 10, and I love this city, is the city of Ragusa. Now, property in Ragusa, Sicily, is very cheap at an average of €980 per square meter. And Ragusa is a lovely city of approximately 73,000 inhabitants. The old town here is home to many lovely Baroque buildings, and the center of Ragusa is part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There are also some lovely beaches nearby, and there are two railway stations as well. Now, a famous Italian series called Montalbano was filmed here over a number of years. And Ragusa in southeast Sicily also has good medical facilities. However, the nearest main airport is Catania, and Catania Airport is a fair distance away at around 100 kilometers or so. So that can be a disadvantage. Now, coming in at number 9 is Modica. Now, situated in southeast Sicily with a population of around 53,000, Modica is known for its beautiful Baroque buildings and chocolate. There are plenty of places to eat and drink here, especially in the main street, Corso Umberto, a lovely street. There are many beautiful churches here and an ornate cathedral, as well as a castle, a nice theatre, and a good hospital as well. There's an upper and lower part of the city and a railway station. However, the nearest main airport, again, is Catania Airport, which is a fair distance away at around 120 kilometers. So that can be a disadvantage. However, there are also some nice nearby beaches, and property only costs around €970 per square meter on average. Now, coming in at number 8 is Marsala. Marsala, known for its wine and with a population of around 80,000, is yet another lovely city in Sicily where real estate is cheap at about €960 per square meter on average. And Marsala is situated in the very west of Sicily. Marsala is rich in history with beautiful architecture, a lovely cathedral, a nice historical centre, and plenty of bars and shops. Marsala also has its own train station, where in around 30 minutes you can be in Trapani, which has its own airport. And there's also a good hospital here. And of course, let's not forget the beaches as well. And I personally think Marsala is so underrated and worth considering. Now, coming in at number 7 is Agrigento. With a population of around 55,000 and situated on the southern coast of Sicily, Agrigento is a city rich in history. It is chiefly known for the Valley of the Temples, which are impressive Greek temples and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. However, I think Agrigento also has some lovely churches, a splendid cathedral, beaches, and delicious Mediterranean food. The nearest major airport, Palermo, though, is over 100 kilometers away. So that is a bit of a disadvantage. It has a main railway line station, but it takes nearly 3 hours to get to Palermo. Now, medical facilities are decent here, but perhaps not quite as good as other parts of Sicily. And on average, real estate costs just under €960 per square meter. Now, coming in at number 6 is Trapani. With a population of around 64,000, Trapani is yet another city in Sicily which makes the list. Now, Trapani is situated in western Sicily and has the advantage of having its own airport, which has direct flight connections to a lot of cities in Europe, including London, Toulouse, Brussels, Seville, and Bratislava. Trapani also has a railway station and quite good medical facilities, and property on average only costs around 925 euros per square meter. Now, as for the city, it has a lovely old town and ancient churches. Trapani also has its own beach and is pedestrian friendly. There is also a good bus network in the city and plenty of places to eat and drink. Now, coming in at number 5 is Bagheria. Now, with a population of around 53,000 and situated only around 10 kilometers from Sicily's capital, Palermo, Bagheria is a historic and interesting city. There are numerous nice villas scattered throughout the old town, as well as some lovely Baroque churches. Now, the biggest attraction, though, I think, is the waterfront. The coastline here is beautiful, and you will find people swimming and enjoying the beaches and coves. Of course, the food is good as well, and real estate prices here on average are only 900 euros per square meter, which is extremely cheap if you consider you can get to Palermo by train in under 20 minutes. So just consider this place you can get to very easily, and property is so cheap, and you've got lovely beaches as well. Now, coming in at number 4 is Alessandria. Now, with a population of around 90,000 and situated in the region of Piemonte, Alessandria is the first city on the list not to be in Sicily. Property prices here are very cheap at an average of only around 885 euros per square meter. Now, particularly due to the fact that it is a really wealthy city, I think prices are very cheap. And it's within 150 kilometers of several airports, including Genova, Turin, Linate, and Malpensa in Milan, as well as Parma. There is also a well connected rail station, very good medical facilities, and the city itself is nice enough with plenty of eateries, shops, and cafes. You will also find lots of nice churches, and Alessandria is actually the only city in the north here that makes the top 10. Worth considering. Now, coming in at number 3 is Reggio Calabria. Now, with a population of around 171,000, and by far the most populous city on the list is Reggio Calabria. Now, Reggio Calabria is separated from Sicily by the Strait of Messina and is, in my opinion, a very underrated city. It has some lovely churches, a sumptuous cathedral, a famous castle, and of course, lovely beaches and plenty of places to eat and drink. There are quite good medical facilities, but I also want to add that if you want to go private here, medical facilities are very cheap. You're not going to pay a lot privately. Now, the nearest airports are Catania and Lamezia Terme. Both, however, are over 100 kilometers away. Nevertheless, I think property is incredibly cheap at an average of around 870 euros per square meter. Very cheap. Now, coming in at number 2 is Lamezia Terme. Now, with a population of around 67,000 and in the province of Catanzaro, Lamezia Terme has the advantage of having its own airport, although many flights are seasonal. Nevertheless, considering it has its own international airport, real estate here is incredibly cheap at only 800 euros per square meter on average. There is also a mainline railway station and good medical facilities, in particular if you go private. Now, as well as the attractive beaches in Lamezia Terme, there are many other attractions, including churches, museums, palaces, a watchtower, and ancient ruins as well. Now, of course, there are more than enough places to eat and drink here and have a lovely coffee, but it doesn't make the number 1 position. Now, the cheapest place to buy is Caltanissetta. Now, located in the central part of Sicily and with a population of around 59,000, Caltanissetta is the cheapest city in Italy in which to buy real estate. On average, you will only pay, listen to this, 750 euros per square meter, which is really, really incredibly cheap. Now, Caltanissetta is nice enough where different cultures have left evidence of their presence, including Greeks, Arabs, and the Bourbons. There is a nice cathedral, amazing ancient baths, and some lovely churches. And the food here is also very good. Personally, though, it would not be my first choice, as medical facilities are okay, but not as good as other parts of the island. So it's definitely worth considering going private here if you do decide to buy it and you need medical facilities. And the nearest airports, Catania and Palermo, are well over 85 kilometers away. And by train from Caltanissetta to Catania will take you over 2.5 hours, and to Palermo, it's going to take you at least 2 hours. Plus, of course, another disadvantage for me anyway, there are no beaches. It's located quite centrally, so you have no beaches. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Would you be interested in buying in any of these 10 cities I've mentioned? I'd love to know your thoughts. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you very soon on the next video.